The ghost of Mary Worth, said to have killed her family with an axe.
We're in front of where some people think Mary Worth is buried. Is the Whitewater curse real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that clear.
Can you say one of our names? There's 4 of you. Did you hear that?
The Hillside Cemetery is not only home to Morris Pratt's grave, but also home to a strange tale of its own. The ghost of Mary Worth is said to be seen wandering the graves of Hillside Cemetery. Worth is said to have been a witch who put a curse on a man. The Tincher Realty office was previously home to Lucius Winchester. Worth put a curse on Winchester, who is said to angrily haunt the building to this day. While the story of Winchester's ghost was compelling, we had bigger fish to fry. Mary Worth was also said to have killed her family with an axe and, right before her execution, put a curse on Whitewater. However, there are many uncertainties about the Mary Worth story. First, there are no records showing a Mary Worth living in Whitewater during the time period in question.
There's no evidence. One of our members of our Historical Society board has spent many hours trying to find a Mary Worth in the documents. And I have to say that she has not found anyone in the written documents. Was there a person like Mary Worth, or someone like Mary Worth, an eccentric person? Was there someone attached to the spiritualist school that people talked about and the legend grew? I don't know. But again, I think that's a pure legend, and I don't know. Well, let's just put it this way. There's no evidence.
Second, the story seems to be influenced by a real axe murder, where a man named Thomas Chesney killed the Fanning brothers on their farm with an axe over a business disagreement. Their graves are at one of the other haunted Whitewater cemeteries, Calvary Cemetery. And lastly, it is unknown where Worth's body rests, if the stories are even real at all. Worth's body is said to be buried in either the public mausoleum in Hillside Cemetery or somewhere at Oak Grove Cemetery, another of the 3 haunted Whitewater cemeteries. See, the 3 main Whitewater cemeteries, Hillside, Oak Grove, and Calvary, form a perfect, supposedly spiritually significant isosceles triangle, and everywhere within this triangle is said to be haunted due to Mary Worth's curse. We visited Hillside Cemetery in the morning to find the graves of Pratt and the others from the legends, but had trouble finding one, Mary Worth.
This poor thing just falling apart with all the pieces there.
So right now we are in front of where some people think Mary Worth is buried in the Hillside Cemetery, although those doors are cracked open and you can see nothing is inside. This is, in fact, a holding mausoleum for bodies.
And this one's shut, but
You can see at the top it says 18 something, but the sandstone is worn off. Like a lot of the graves here, actually. It's kind of sad. So I guess let's try the dowsing rod, see if Mary Worth is in there. I doubt it. We got to solve this mystery. So. If there are any spirits here or any energy that wants to communicate, please make the rods cross. Oh yeah, thank you.
oh, there you go.
Is this Mary Worth? It's moving to yes. Yeah?
Crossed.
Are you buried in that mausoleum? Keeps crossing. Maybe I'll get a little closer.
Yeah, maybe by the door.
Huh. Keeps crossing. You want to try the necrophonic? Could the energy that was just talking to me right here with the dowsing rods speak through this? Is the stories about Mary Worth true?
After we closed out the session, receiving no more communication, we noticed a group of chickadee babies had just hopped out of a nest and were learning to fly back up to it. Even in a cemetery filled to the brim with death and the deceased, this trip served as a reminder that there is still new life and new opportunities, and we hoped there would be the opportunity at the next location to find more answers. Was Mary Worth buried at Hillside in the smaller sealed mausoleum? Or was she buried at Oak Grove? The question remained, so, as the sun began to hide behind the clouds and darkness loomed under the tall, sagging trees of Oak Grove Cemetery, we continued our investigation.
We are at the Oak Grove Cemetery in Whitewater, and unbeknownst to us, there's a lock on the fence, and we have to go all the way to Hillside Cemetery for the keys, if they're even there to give them to us. So we've decided to just stand out in the front and hope that if there is any energy inside, that it will come over and communicate with us. You want to start with the dowsing rod, Seth?
Sure.
If Mary Worth or any other energy wants to come out and communicate with us, feel free. We're right out here.
Oak Grove Cemetery sits right next to an elementary school, as well as a historic wooden bridge. The cemetery, historic itself, has many displays of vandalism which could increase levels of haunting according to those within the paranormal community. The cemetery is also said to have hosted many satanic and witchcraft-related rituals. Is any of this true? And is Mary Worth actually buried at Oak Grove? It was time to find out.
Are there any spirits around us that would like to speak? Oh gosh, I got an X right away. Thank you. Are you a spirit that's buried in the cemetery? Right is yes, left is no.
We asked many questions, including asking if we were communicating with someone buried in the cemetery, if Mary Worth's spirit was there, if she was buried in Oak Grove, and if she was even real at all. The rods kept crossing, indicating energy was present, but we did not receive any answers to our questions.
See, like, immediately it does that, and then it won't answer any questions. Are you messing with us? It's like coming to a point at you.
Do you want me to try them?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it wants to talk to you instead.
I tried the rods for a while, not getting anything either, until I held them over the fence.
There we go. Okay. I'll bring it to my right for a yes and to my left for a no to respond to my questions, please. Is Mary Worth buried in the cemetery? There's many conflicting reports about where Miss Worth is buried. Is she buried here?
No. Moving.
To my right for a yes, to my left for a no. Is Mary buried in the cemetery? Seems like it wants to go to the no.
Communication then dropped off, so we decided to try a necrophonic session.
Now we're going to try a necrophonic session, and Anna's going to take some digital photos to see if we can get any spirit orbs. So what this is a sound bank, and it's going to spit out words and phrases. Please use your energy, try to piece them together to form sentences to communicate with us. Is there anyone here? I'm here.
Well, I misheard what the voice was saying live. On playback, what the voice was saying was much more clear.
Now there's confusion over where Mary Worth was buried. Is she actually buried here? Can you say one of our names to verify that you are actually speaking with us? There's four of you. Did you hear that? There's 4 of you. Did you hear that?
That's funny.
Listen carefully as a voice says exactly what Anne says seconds later, but doesn't realize it, and then another voice jokes about it.
That's funny.
This is a possible example of a spirit interacting with us in real time.
That's funny.
Where are you buried in this cemetery? Are there actual witches in Whitewater?
Was the spirit subtly warning me about asking too many questions about the spirits there? Or did it simply desire peace and quiet?
Is the Whitewater curse real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that clear.
So, is the curse what is causing you to not rest peacefully here?
What's your name? James? James?
Next moves? We're gonna try the spirit box.
Okay.
We took many pictures during the necrophonic session, but only one displayed potential paranormal evidence. Look at this photo. A large white, semi-transparent orb is seen right next to me. It did not show up in the photo right before. This orb is compelling because it looks to be halfway phased through the fence, not exactly fully in front of the fence, but not behind it. The milky look this orb has is not consistent at all with pictures we've determined to have captured dust, moisture, or bugs. So what, or who, is it? It was time for a spirit box session to find out.
It's now nighttime. We've switched to infrared cameras, and now we're going to try out the spirit box in front of Oak Grove Cemetery. Is anybody here able to communicate with us? Just speak out loud and we should be able to hear you. Is the story about Mary Worth true? Did she kill her family with an axe? Does anybody have any messages for us from the afterlife? It's really hard for us to understand what you're saying in person, but we're going to go home and play it back so we can understand. Do you have any messages for us from the afterlife? Do you know you're dead?
We walked around for 20 minutes asking questions and taking pictures, getting nothing more. If we were previously communicating with spiritual energy at the cemetery, it was clear that the spirits were no longer interested in communicating with us. So, we wrapped up our investigation. Oak Grove Cemetery seemed very peaceful on the surface, but upon investigating below the surface using our paranormal equipment, we seemed to capture responses from energy, spirits unable to peacefully rest, such as a girl named Jane.
James?
Apparently due to the Whitewater curse.
Is the Whitewater curse real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the curse what is causing you to not rest peacefully here?
But even if this curse is truly real, did Mary Worth actually cast it?
I think when it comes to a lot of the legends, and in particular about witches, I don't know, the Mary Worth thing, I'm not sure, but, and the curse of Whitewater, I don't know about that, but the idea of witches in Whitewater, my theory, and it is a theory, spiritualists were very much women, equally as men. Women were mediums in most cases. Women had executive positions in the field of spiritualism. That was something that I think was difficult for people to accept in the late 19th and early 20th centuries because of the nature of how people felt women's place was in society. But for people on the outside of spiritualism, they probably looked at that as, the devil, Ouija boards, that kind of stuff. And I think it was very easy for people to look at these women spiritualists and say, oh yeah, they're witches.
Even assuming Mary Worth was real, the answers we gathered with our equipment for whether Mary Worth was buried at Oak Grove or Hillside were conflicting.
Is Mary buried in the cemetery? Seems like it wants to go to the... No. Is she actually buried here?
And though the main Hillside vault was empty, that was the only place we seemed to contact her energy.
Is this Mary Worth? Yeah?
Crossed.
Regardless, if the Whitewater curse is real, as the voices we captured seemed to confirm, we hoped that the energies at the 3 haunted cemeteries could move on and find peace.